Today what we are going to be talking about is the various ways characters are able to wield Keyblades within the Kingdom Hearts series. Starting off with the number one and most basic way most characters wield Keyblades is that of the Rite of Passage. The Rite of Passage is a ceremony performed by a Keyblade master or somebody who has enough strength to at least be considered a Keyblade master. With that being said, this is the way that Mickey, Yensid, Master Ericus, Terra, Aqua, and Ventus have all gained their Keyblades. With that being said, we actually see a visual representation of this on screen in Birth by Sleep 2 times, once by Terra when he gives the power of wielding a Keyblade to Riku, and then in another accidental situation where Kairi accidentally touches Aqua's Keyblade in Birth by Sleep. With that being said, a lot of people would probably say, now wouldn't Jack Sparrow be able to wield a Keyblade in that case, because didn't he touch Sora's Keyblade in Kingdom Hearts 2? Yes, he did, but let me explain that away with 2 quotes from Tetsuya Nomura out of the Birth by Sleep Ultimania. So in this book he did an interview, and the interview asked him these 2 questions. This time we saw a rite of succession. Is that a required condition for becoming a Keyblade user? That's essentially correct. In terms of the rite itself, the successee just has to make the successor grasp their Keyblade. If this rite is performed by a Keyblade master and if they have the suitable power, the Keyblade will choose that person as a Keyblade user and appear to them. Terra, Ventus, Aqua, and all have passed this rite. Sora is the only exception. The Keyblade succession can only be performed by a Keyblade master, but we see Terra performing this rite with Riku. Does this mean we can consider Terra a Keyblade master? No. Terra was not awarded the title by his master Ericus, so no matter how much Master Xehanort flatters him, he is not a Keyblade master. But that is just a matter of whether or not he has achieved the official title. Even Ericus recognized that Terra possessed suitable power to be a master, which is why he was able to perform the rite for Riku, aka meaning you do not actually have to have the title of master in order for you to be able to use the Rite of Passage. 2. This also notes that long as the person is of adequate power and they touch your Keyblade, if you are of adequate power or even a Keyblade master, they will eventually gain the power to use a Keyblade. So let's say for example you have a friend and your friend has a Keyblade and he is of the level of a Keyblade master. You then grab your friend's Keyblade for a couple of seconds, and if you have the adequate power to use a Keyblade, the Keyblade will then be able to choose you and you will now be able to use your very own Keyblade. It's really just that simple, and that is why Kairi is able to wield a Keyblade. And as Tetsuya Nomura said, Sora is a very rare exception. And let me explain Sora very quickly. Sora gained his Keyblade at the age of 14 when Riku fell to darkness. The only reason that we can assume Riku was not able to use his Keyblade is because Keyblades maybe slightly have a will of their own, and that is why the Kingdom Key left Riku and went immediately to Sora, seeing as Sora was the closest person in the vicinity of the Keyblade. And before anybody says no, it's because Riku fell to the darkness and the Kingdom Key is a Keyblade of light, let me just show you one quick example. King Mickey, who uses pretty much mostly light magic, has the Kingdom Key of the Dark Realm, and he mainly uses light magic, which leads me to believe just because you use a opposite element opposed to your Keyblade doesn't mean that your Keyblade will just up and leave you. So that's not really a good point to try and disprove me, just to put that out there. So moving on from Sora and explaining that, Roxas is able to wield a Keyblade because he is the nobody of 2 different Keyblade wielders and sharing a body with these different Keyblade wielders, meaning that his body is able to wield a Keyblade. That's really not that hard to understand. Xion is obviously another aspect of Sora, therefore she should be able to wield a Keyblade as well. Really not that hard to explain. Moving on lastly into the 13 Darknesses, because they are all gaining the aspect of Xehanort and will eventually become Xehanort himself, they are actually becoming Keyblade wielders in a really weird way, but nonetheless they will eventually be able to gain the power to use a Keyblade if they have not already. With that being said, these are the ways that I know of people gaining Keyblades within the Kingdom Hearts series. If you have some issues with what I said in this video, please let me know down below. I'm always willing to have a debate with anybody, you guys know that. And with that being said, it has been your boy Skips, and I will see you all in the next one.